Hey everyone, Geist King here with a little storytime speed draw. Um, I'm actually between jobs right now, and I've decided I'd try a little something new. Um, I really don't want to get distracted by commissions in favor of finding another position, but I have opened a coffee, however you pronounce that, and anything you guys want to drop in there is very much appreciated. The links will be below. I actually made a whole other video explaining the work situation, but it was just too much, so I'll have to repurpose that footage for something else. Let me know what you guys want to hear if you want to hear any more from me. I'll use it for that. But in the meantime, let's just get right into it. So instead of a long rant, I'll just tell a story from my collection of bizarre interactions as an artist on the internet. Now, I'm not here to make fun of anyone, but I have no problem admitting sometimes it gets a little weird out here. Well, back in the glory days of DeviantArt, before the slow, pitiful death of the site, followed by Eclipse parading its corpse around like some sort of morbid horror dance at a Jewish wedding. Damn, I regret not going to the one Jewish wedding I was invited to. I hear they're a blast. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Back in the glory days of DA, one day I open up the site and see I have a note it's a commission request from a guy who follows me. And so I get all the info. It's all pleasant. We settle the payment, which was dirt cheap at the time. I think I charged $20 for a fully detailed character. I mean, I had no concept of what anything was or anything like that. But I get right to work thinking this is going to be easy money and I get to work with a cute character. And I finish it that day. I mean, I used to have my process worked out super efficiently. I got to work and I didn't stop until it was done. But my naive self delivers the art expecting praise and thanks, but the guy's unsatisfied. The colors were wrong. Not the skin, not the hair, or the eyes, but the little bit of white that I added to the outfit. And the guy, of course, he asks for a color change. That's fair, and something I can easily do these days, but back then I used to merge all the layers and smooth everything over. Changing it was just not happening. So I apologize to him and offer him additional art to compensate for it. But, oh boy, was he not having it. The guy just starts going on and on and on about how it looks unfinished, how I should have asked more questions about this random color I should have known not to use, when in actuality the two pieces made by other artists before me had white in them, quite a bit of white actually. And he just keeps going on about how I didn't communicate with him. Then he slips into this weird role playing where he's talking about himself in the first person from the character's perspective. It's that shift was rather jarring at the time. I didn't understand what was going on. And keep in mind that this was way back, and I had very little experience with commissions at the time. So part of this can be attributed to my ignorance of how this process works, and I take accountability for that. But after I posted the piece, and people were commenting some really nice positive things about it, that whole comment section was just ridiculous, because he responded to most all the comments in that section, and he goes on and on about how it's wrong and how he was about to cry and how I used to be an artist he respected until this. And it just started to get so bad that other people who commented started noting me at private messaging, that's notes in DeviantArt, asking me what all the drama was about. And this was in the days before I even knew what PayPal was. So I couldn't just give him his money back because I just accepted payment in the form of DA subscriptions or Amazon gift cards to buy random video games. I just do a drawing and buy a video game. But luckily, I hooked a commission from my longtime companda, the Iron Artist, to refund him. JMO is a legend. She's with me to this day. But it was this whole silly and irritating experience. But anything that can leave you with a valuable lesson at the end is kind of worth it. It's kind of worth it. But I learned to ask customers if there's anything else I should know before I start working. Keep multiple versions of any piece in case I need to make adjustments. And it's pretty wild out here. You never know where you're going to run into. For as refined as you have your process, or as much as you think that you can consider, there's always going to be something coming out of left field. And by the end of this thing, the guy was cooing at me, but I was over it. I remained civil, but I was just done after he got his refund. And now that I'm thinking about it, the little cherry on top of this weird sundae, the guy was actually talking about commissioning me in the future after that. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I declined that on the spot. And it's just weird out here. And you gotta consider who you're talking to, do a little research if you can, see who these people interact with, and try to take it from there. But as much as you try to prepare for that, someone will always throw a curveball at you. Well, that actually went a little quicker than I thought it was going to go. I suppose there's time for more. I guess I could tell a couple raffle stories. For those of you who follow me on other platforms, you may be aware that I throw raffles from time to time, especially on Twitter. Link below. Like, comment, subscribe, bang bell for notifications. Mostly Yacha raffles. I actually started them as a means to promote the annual contest I used to throw, and I kind of liked doing them, so I kept doing them. Keeping with the theme of the video, I'll tell a quick one to add a little red and blue with our white story. Once upon a time, I opened up a Yacha raffle with 3 very simple, specific rules. Rule number 1 was make a journal entry advertising the Yacha and the associated contest. The second rule was comment here with the name and the reference of the character you want to enter. And number 3, in all caps, redhead females only! 3 very simple rules, right? Someone submitted a character with blue hair. I know what you're thinking, guys. They probably just didn't see that last rule. No. They saw it because in their comment, they specifically mentioned that her hair wasn't red and that it was blue, like in the reference. In recent years, I've learned to just disregard entries that don't follow the rules I put out, unless I'm just feeling kind that day, or it's someone who has done me a kindness in the past. But sometimes it's harder than you would think to hand out free art. It just gets absolutely ridiculous sometimes. Like in the case of another promotional Yacha raffle before that one. Actually, if I'm remembering correctly, it was the first promo raffle I ever did. So basically, it was a very simple thing. I just blocked out 4 poses, established the simple rules, and let everyone have at it. The whole time, everyone is following the directions, no hiccups or concerns on my end. I'm getting some great exposure for the contest and some cute characters to work with. It was a win-win for me. And hey, I'm feeling good about it. So good, in fact, that I turned that 4 characters into 9 characters and select 5 additional winners who didn't actually win the drawing process. So I go through the additional winners galleries, collecting more reference material until I get to the last one. While I'm in this gallery, I see some things that give me this vague unease. I won't say what was in the gallery, but something inside of me was telling me there's something off here. Do not engage. But ultimately, I ignored it. The character was simple enough, and who doesn't like having free art of their character? So I figured I was just being ridiculous, since I couldn't identify what exactly was putting me off in the first place. So I drew the character. I drew the character in along with the rest, and surprise, 9 characters instead of the 4 I promised. I mean, I was feeling great about it. Please hold your applause. I'm generous. I know. Thank you. Thank you. And you'd have thought everything would be cool, right? No. Everything was not cool. It was far from cool. The other 4 people who got a character were very happy. They were very appreciative, and they were great. But when it came to number 5, the guy I felt apprehensive about, he had something else in store for me. See, he wanted me to prevent others from stealing his character. And I had a little chuckle at this at first, but he was serious. He wanted me to somehow prevent the entire internet from stealing his OC. I won't call her what he was calling her, but it was very possessive. It was very possessive. It's difficult to convey just how much without using the exact terminology, but I don't feel it inaccurate. I don't feel it an accurate description to describe it as mate guarding behavior. You know when men get aggressive about other men seeing too much of their women, or I don't know, a female wolf positions herself under her he-wolf to protect his neck from a threat. Yeah, it felt very much like that. And in the beginning, I'm just laughing it off. I tell him that, hey, you may be too worried about this. I myself have trouble getting anyone to draw my characters when I actually want them to. And oof, that was not good enough for this guy. He pretty much demands of me that I prevent anyone from using her or, in quote, touching her. And now, here is where I tripped up. I was sick of the whole interaction, but I just offered to remove her and replace her with someone else's character to assuage his irrational fear that this character is in mortal danger of being kidnapped. And even though he willingly entered her into the raffle, and far be it for me to criticize someone's design work without being asked, but how can I put this? Well, close your eyes and picture a generic cat girl with long black hair, black ears, and a black tail. Alright, you got that visual? Whatever your mind's eye is perceiving at this very moment is probably pretty close, if not dead on. It's just, he was obsessed about this. And he was all in favor of me removing her and proudly stated that he was just, quote, protecting her. But whatever. Instead of just saying, you're welcome for the free art you wanted, and moving on with my life, I spent the time replacing the character. I had other stuff to do that afternoon, but I sat there and I did that. I took her out and put somebody else's in. And, the whole time I was sitting there doing that, I was getting angry. I was livid. And after I was done, after I replaced the character, I told him I didn't appreciate wasting my time, and that he was being irrational and should have his character all over the internet if he's so afraid of her being stolen. His response to that was, "What?" ? I was just done with it. But he sends me this sobby private message expressing fear that I never do art for him again. And I told him damn straight, I'm never doing art for you again. You thoroughly made me regret trying to do you this favor. Even though this, and the funny part is, this guy still tries to slip characters into my raffles to this day. And I meant what the hell I said, and I just ignore him. And I'm not trying to come off like I'm Hashem's gift to art or something, but I don't appreciate wasting my time. Damn, I should have gone to that Jewish wedding. But yeah, if you step into a gallery and you're getting bad vibes, just remember those alarms are going off for a reason. You may not fully understand why, but always take that into account and move accordingly. And I know this has gone on a little long, so I just want to thank you guys for putting up with this long, rambling, whatever this is. And I apologize for the panning and the zooming. I'm still pretty new at this video thing. And anything you guys want to drop in the coffee, that's very much appreciated. Let me know what you think. And just, share some of your own weird stories in the comments. Questions, concerns, just let me know. Thanks for listening, you guys.